On this episode of Nisha Unfiltered, we explore how Chyna transformed from a stripper, prostitute, and drug addict to what she describes as a prophetess for Christ.
The strip club. What sort of things did they sort of request from you? Can you tell me about your experience while at the club?
Strange things. Most of the time there are married men.
Hi love, it's Nisha and this is Nisha Unfiltered. Today I am taking you outside of your comfort zone to discuss the unfortunate realities of life as a sex worker. Chyna began taking drugs at 17, was stripping by 18, and soon later prostituting to increase her earnings. She says she really just didn't care. Her life was just about money, coupled with opioids and cocaine to numb the pain. Now, this conversation will not in any way shame you away from practicing healthy sexuality. We all have sexual needs. However, it is dangerous and demoralizing when we allow our sexual appetite and fantasies to reduce girls and women to objects that solely fulfill desires. It is very important for our mental and social development that females feel valued and respected outside of sexuality. Now, unfortunately, it seems that we are increasingly glamorizing sex work, and girls are growing up to believe that their bodies can and should be bought in order to gain material things. But is this healthy though? I feel and understand the pressure myself. But exchanging sexual boundaries and bodies for things will ultimately create toxic situations for our women in which they only end up feeling helpless. So let's speak with ex-stripper, prostitute, and drug addict Chyna to better understand the underbelly of sex work. Take a listen.
Chyna, thank you so much for joining me. How are you feeling?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I am excited the conversation that we're about to have because I see ways in which it can make an impact. I know that the journey has not been easy, but I'm happy that you're open to talking about it. I'm curious about you though. You speak about your grandmother a lot. Tell me about your childhood. How did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Texas, Dallas, Texas. I grew up in a little small neighborhood. It's kind of like the projects. I grew up there, and these projects, it was like complex, a lot of apartments, and I had a lot of family there. Like majority of my family lived in this complex, and it was like if I go around a corner or a block, I was at my aunt's house. If I go around the other unit or go around this way, I was at my other aunt's house, or I was at a cousin's house. So it was very I grew up around a lot of family, but the thing of it is nobody got along. And I became isolated because I got to a point to where in my childhood nobody wanted to play with me, and I always, even growing up, I was always my own friend. I had to learn that at a young age. I had to learn how to be my own friend because I would always try to play with the girls in the neighborhood or my cousins, and they were all it seemed like it was something wrong with me, so I grew a thick skin early. You get what I'm saying? Like I had to put on this thick skin of, okay, I'm my own friend. I don't care, about not having friends or not having no one want to talk to me. I would just play by myself or be by myself.
It sounds lonely in a sense.
Yeah.
Even if there were people around, there was still dysfunction. Was
Right.
Your mom there? Your father? Were they present?
My mom was. My mom had me at a younger age. She was only a teenager herself. So I kind of grew up with, my grandmother being in more of an authority of a mother figure, and my mom, she was there, but my grandmother played the role of more of that figure in my life.
I'm sorry that she passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Are you coping okay with her loss? I know she was very instrumental in.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. And I think right now it's like you'll never like get over something like that. Well,
Yeah.
my mom, like that's how she was, like my mom. So, but you don't never get over it. But I found ways of dealing with it, or just because I know God gave me a lot of strength, and He is giving me a lot of strength when I thought I was not gonna make it at times when she passed. Like, how could this happen? But I'm getting through it better now. A lot of prayer, but I'm getting through that a lot better now.
Yeah. You were not always praying. I heard a very extraordinary testimony that you uploaded on your YouTube channel, Chyna Grace, titled Stripper, Prostitute, Opioid Addict. So
Right.
you sort of transformed your life from all of those titles into a prophetess and a missionary for Christ.
Yeah.
That I want to talk about your love for Jesus and why you're so passionate about his word. But I want to talk about your background story in the sex work industry. What started first, sex work or drugs?
I kind of both. Both started. Both started at the same time. I would say I had a cousin. They were older than me, and I was only 17, and I wanted to be just, how when you got cousins and you look up to them and you want to do what they're doing. So I was 17, and I would see they go out to the clubs and stuff. So they got me a fake ID, and I started going at 17, and I started to like, the surroundings of being in a club, of the attention, because once again, it brings me back to my childhood, being alone. The attention kind of was what I was seeking, not my father wasn't around. And my grandmother could give me so much love, and my mom, and it's like it was more of a attention seeking feeling, So
What did the attention do to you?
it was something that like drove me, drove me to wanting more. It was almost like a drug, should I say? The attention from men, the attention. It was almost like, if they gonna pay me attention and I'm not getting it nowhere else, I want more of that attention. So when I started to go to I met a guy, and he was like, "Look, you have a nice body. You should make money for this, and I know you can make a lot of money for this." And I was like, "Okay, I need to. Maybe I could, And it took me a while to think about it, and I'm only 17 at the time, but I didn't go to that club until I turned 18, actually. And when I went there, I automatically thought, like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to, get up there, have all the attention. It was something that it drove me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many people don't really understand what the life of a stripper is like. How does one prepare for the strip club? What is that energy like?
How does one? You don't really prepare. You don't really prepare. You just take it all, and you just get up there, and you just go in there, and you just do it. I mean, like, you don't really prepare. What makes you prepare is, like, most of the time you're not sober. You're not sober when you're in that type of thing, whether it's prostitution, whether it's stripping. You're not really sober doing it. So you're not thinking straight. So you're basically getting high, and you're going there. So you're not in your right mind. So that's basically what's going on. You just do it. You take whatever it is that calms you down. In my thing, it was the pills that completely blocked emotions, feelings. It blocked everything.
Yeah, they're pain painkillers, the opioids,
Yeah.
they
And
work for some time for you.
it was.
Yeah.
It was. So it blocked everything, and I was able to go there and just not think about anything and not worry about, what was going on and what I was doing.
Yeah.
And it became a very bad habit, a very bad habit. And I had to have them. I had to.
So when men or women come to the strip club, what sort of things did they sort of request from you? Can you tell me about your experience while at the club?
Strange things. Most of the time there are married men. 9 times out of 10, there are married men or a man that's in a relationship or something like that. And he wants you to be a fantasy. He wants you to be a fantasy of something he's probably not getting at home, or the wife or the spouse is not fulfilling that fantasy, or he's shy to even tell her about a fantasy. And that's what most men come there. They want you to basically, you're selling a fantasy, and you have to sell this fantasy. You have to sell this almost of illusion, almost an illusion that I'm here to fulfill your needs, basically. And and whatever you pay me, you're buying this fantasy. You're buying me. You're buying this. So that even drives them when they know that, oh, this girl is here to fulfill this need that I'm not getting elsewhere. I'm not getting at home. And then 9 times out of 10, they'll take that memory home with them into the bed. And, and that's what I heard a lot,
What does that fantasy sort of look like? What's the strangest sort of request that you've had from a client?
The strangest request is more like, it'd be like foot fetishes. Some of them have foot fetishes. Some of them just want a type of, it can be just you. You can be a type of female that he'd been wanting, or just your image, just the way you're shaped, the way you look. He could want me to do my hair a different way. Just, it could be anything. It's strange, very strange things. And if I can be just, transparent, most guys want what another woman, their spouse, their wife, will find very disgusting.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? Disgusting, as this a third party in a bedroom, some stuff like that. And the third party might not be a woman. Different things.
okay. So someone can have interest to be with other men while with a woman at the same time.
Right. Or want you to perform with some type of sex toy. I mean, I experienced and I've seen a lot of stuff. Some stuff will make you it make you stay up at night and not want to, and wonder, like, does this really go on? Like,
It looks like the memory still hurts. Like,
yeah, it as I talk about it just brings back this dark place. I mean, people might try to sugarcoat it and want you to think, oh, well, I am just a dancer. That's all I do. And that's why I want to be as transparent as possible to let people know that where I came from, because the lowest I was, how low I was at, that's how deep God had to dig in and pick me up and bring me out. Because a lot of things go on. Like, if a guy wants you, and I know, like, most of these girls are going through the exact same thing. If a guy wants you and he pays you enough money, and it might be the most disgusting thing he wants you to do, or I'm talking disgusting thing he wants you to do. You have to pick, just do it. And then when you get home at night, you might be like, oh my God, I've seen some things, or I don't witness some things, some orgies, some people in compromising positions that you don't want to even see it. You can't unsee it, but you've seen it, you know. And it's some things that, like I told you a while ago, it just bring me back to a dark place, because I've seen some things that just not, it bring me in a dark place. You know what I'm saying? And I know most girls, they only do it because they feel like they have to for the money. It's the money, and the money is good, and they got used to living their life, or they got used to their drug, and it's hard to get off of that drug, because I know I was scared to like go through withdrawal. And that's what drove me to keep getting pills and keep taking them, because withdrawal, if I go through it, I know I was going to be very, very sick, very sick. And so I had to keep taking the pills. I kept making the money, and I needed more money because I was spending more money on the drugs, on the pills, and I need more money because I had to pay bills. I need more money. And it never ends. The money always seems like it just disappears. It never stays. It just disappears, and you have to make it. If it's $5,000 a night, where do it go besides clothes and being miserable, being in depression, darkness? It's miserable. It's miserable.
While on stage and performing really extravagant moves, really, that leaves people in awe. That's why the strip club is so popular. It looks like a dream for some girls. What would you say to them?
I would say, because I know you're hurting, and I know that you're hurting deep inside, but it's a thing that is something that's driving you. And I would just tell them, reach out to somebody that you can talk to, even going through it, even if while you're there right now, while you still dance, reach out to somebody that you can talk to, because I know it gets dark and it gets lonely, and it's a place that'll take you so fast into a dark place.
Yeah.
And I know, like, you might not have, at the end of the day, you might not have the resources and the resources to just talk to somebody when you're going to this dark place, and it'll make you almost feel like you want to not be here no more, not be in the world no more. I know a lot of girls that want to commit suicide, but I'm telling you, like, there is a way out, and there is a God that loves you, and He's always there for you. This is not the end. You know, this is not the end. God loves you. God loves you.
You said that it starts off one way. You like the attention. You're doing it because it meets a demand. You need money, you have responsibilities. But it keeps getting worse and worse, the things that you find yourself doing. So you moved from dancing to now prostituting, in a sense. You weren't walking the street, like you said, but you were having intercourse with the men who would come to the club. How did that happen? How did it go from just dancing, working the pole, to sleeping with the men?
More money. I remember, like, dancing and us girls talking in the dressing room. And I remember, because I was wondering, like, how do y'all make this amount of money? I mean, I know I can make a few hundred, but I see girls putting out way more money than that, and I'm like, how can I make that amount of money? Like, how are you getting that money? And then the conversation came up of, you know, a guy might come in here and he might ask you for a date or ask you to go home with him, and he wouldn't be like, it would be almost like someone that you would always continue to sleep with, if you know. And that's where the money come in at, because now he's supporting you. Now he's paying for your lifestyle. If you come into the club and y'all having a relationship outside the club, you're you know, kind of like this guy you're sleeping with, but also like a sugar daddy too, at it, in a sense, you know. So he will come there and give you more money, or you meet him outside the club, or he would come in there and just be with you and just give you money just for being there, you know, because now he was a sugar daddy, or he was someone that you was sleeping with also. So we wouldn't call them like tricks. We would call them tricks. We'll call them all type of. We had a lot of names for them, but not sugar daddy. But they was like tricks that we did extra stuff for more money, basic.
Got you. In your experience now, sugar daddies are sort of very popular. There are a lot of videos on how to get a sugar daddy. It's an it thing for a lot of young women. In your experience, do you think that there is a difference between prostituting and having a sugar daddy?
I don't think it's a difference. I don't at all. I mean, they might try to label it and be like, well, this is the difference because I'm only sleeping with him, or he's paying for this house that I'm staying at, and he comes here, and I don't think it's a difference, because that sugar daddy or that guy, they don't have just you. I mean, they might tell you just you. They don't have just you. He's paying for her lifestyle. He's paying for your lifestyle, and believe me or not, he might get bored of you and want to go to the other woman that looks different. The other girl, because she's, different skin complexion, different size. And so and then you'll try to find another, I don't think it's a difference at all. I mean, someone's paying you.
No, tell me, someone's paying.
Yeah, someone's paying you for sex, and that's what it is, and whether he's funding your lifestyle, whether he's giving you a car, he's still paying you in a sense, so it's no difference.
I think a lot of people are going to hear that and be like mind blown. And then it helps to level the playing field of what you think of prostitutes and what you think when you look in your own mirror, because it's something that's popularized. So it's not that different.
I don't think that's a difference. I don't think it's a difference at all. I mean, it's the people want to put the names on everything and make it seem like it's a difference.
Yeah.
But I think if anybody's paying you or giving you money for sleeping with them or being with them on call, because you got to be on call when he wants you. You have to be there and do what he wants you to do. That's not your husband, that's not your. That's you're a prostitute. That's just the way it is. I mean, I had like 3 or 4 of them, but I know exactly what I was there for. I knew my place and he knew his place. I knew my role, and my role wasn't a wife. My role wasn't a girlfriend. I was just there to please him, and that's it. And he paid me and bought me whatever I need. It almost was like a business, a deal,
So I know that the money was good. How did you feel about at the time? Because I remember you saying at some point you didn't care at all. Was there any feeling after dancing or after a long night, after sleeping with them? Was there any feeling at all?
Yeah. As soon as I got sober. As soon as I laid in my bed at night, or I left the club around 3-4 o'clock, and I'm in my bed, and I'm like, I started to come down off of the medication. I started to come down because at one point, right before the year before I got saved, I started snorting cocaine. So when I come down, that's when I feel everything. That's when I feel, I almost feel like I'm just depressed. I had anxiety. I had panic attacks, everything. So I was scared.
You were scared.
I was scared. I was always scared. If I didn't take medicine, take the pills, if I was sober, I was always scared. Like I was going to die. Yeah. It was almost like I was going to die. I didn't know why. It wasn't a reason why I thought I was going to die. It's just that my heart would start beating fast and I just had bad panic attacks. So I would take the medication to it would be my joy, should I say. That's the only way I'd be happy. If I was, taking the opioid, the pills or whatever.
I know what that feels like, the panic attack and just feeling like you're about to, and then having to take the pills and then pretend like everything was okay. That must be difficult. But your life did a 360. 180, did a 180. You went from stripping, prostituting, taking drugs to gradually being introduced to the church in Christ. Tell me about that process and how you were able to get out of the club.
I think, and it almost, it's like, it's so supernatural, because I didn't do it. I really didn't do it. And it was a year before I really got saved. A year before I started to feel something different. I started taking the pills and I wouldn't get high. And I was like, what is going on? You know, I'm telling people, I'm telling like my aunt. I remember calling her and I was like, you know, I don't know if I want to go to rehab or something, because like I'm just not, something's wrong. I'm not getting high. I'm not feeling this the way I usually feel when I take the pills, and when I snort the cocaine, like it's different. And I remember her saying, like, if you really want to go to rehab, you have to be ready. You have to know this is really what you want. I'm like, I think this is what I want, because for some reason it's not working for me no more. So I think I didn't even know like what was going on. And so like I would go to the club and bad luck. Like I was not making money. I started to lose some of the guys that I had, you know, that sugar daddies or tricks, or that's what we'll call them. We'll call them tricks. And I would start to lose them. Like they were losing interest. And I was like, I'm not changing. Like I still look the same. I didn't know. Like I did not know. My panic attacks started to come. So it was almost like I was walking around and not living, just breathing. You know, I wasn't living. I was just breathing.
Just
you know,
yeah.
I was in a dark. It was so dark to me, and I was like, what is going on? Like I didn't know to pray. I didn't know God. I had turned my back on God and Jesus a long time ago. I had stopped listening to my granny a long time ago. I was not trying to hear nothing about that. I did not know what was going on. So this year just kept going, and I kept trying to take the pills. I kept trying to experiment with other things. I kept trying to snort cocaine. I kept going to the club, and it was just getting worse and worse. I just couldn't make money. And one night I'm up there dancing at the club, and I'm not high. I'm not high. I'm kind of sober, but then I'm still having panic attacks at the same time. So I'm just loopy, you know. So I'm up there dancing, and I just hear like this voice telling me to get down and get out. And I'm looking around like, oh my God, I'm tripping. I am tripping. Like the DJ's looking at me like keep dancing. I have people around here like, who's saying that? And it was just almost like this soft, gentle voice, but at the same time, it was like rumbling, like get down and get out. So I'm thinking like, man, somebody done gave me some bad drugs or something. Like I'm tripping. Everybody's looking at me like I'm tripping, because I know someone's talking to me. So I get down off the stage and I run to the back, and like a group of girls that I knew that I talked to, they was coming like, what's going on with you? Like, what's wrong with you? What happened? I was like, yeah, I didn't hear that. Like, somebody's telling me to get out this club. Like, I need to go. They was like, oh, you just tripping. Maybe you got to hook to some bad drugs, or someone gave you something that's bad. I was like, I know, right? And then I don't know, but what I did is I started putting on my clothes. I felt that something was going on. I started to get more scared. The panic attack just came over me, and I had to get out of there. I go get me a room, because I'm thinking like maybe I did take something, because I know I had cocaine. I know I had these drugs with me, and maybe I did take something that wasn't right.
Did you think, oh my gosh, this could be a mental episode? Like,
yeah, I thought so, and that's what I was doing. I was ready to get out of there. Like, let me go, let me go, because maybe I need to go to a hotel and just, you know, kind of like unwind and just be by myself and kind of just, you know, be there and see what's going on with me. So that's what I did. I went to a room. I got a room and I checked in. Yeah, I checked in. And little to my surprise, I'm still in their room. The next morning I'm in there, and immediately I think like, oh, I was just tripping at night. Somebody gave me some bad drugs. I try to get more drugs. I try to get more pills while I'm in the room, and nobody's answering the phone for me. This guy I used to get the medicine from he's not answering the phone for me. And I'm like, something's just not right. Like, how can I be having this much bad luck? How can I be going through this much? Something's just not right. But during the time in there, the Bible came on. The Bible, the series, it came on, and I am just watching it, just laying in the bed watching it, and that's the only thing that I felt like I should watch. That's the only thing that gave me peace. So I'm just watching it, laying in the bed. That whole second day of me being in there. The third day I was in there, the second day I was in there, that's all I'm watching, and it was a Bible by the bed. I didn't touch it, but I thought I should read it. And the next morning I woke up, I was not the same person I was when I went to sleep. I felt different. I didn't want to look the same when I came in there. I had on this short little dress with the little tank top on, and I felt like I couldn't wear that out. I felt like
what was in your mind? What was wrong with what you were wearing?
It felt like it was dirty to me. It felt like it was disgusting, like it was dirty to me, like it wasn't me no more.
How did it feel before it started?
Oh, I didn't feel anything. Okay. It felt normal. Everything felt normal before
until that morning
I went to sleep.
Okay.
And woke up. When I went to sleep, when I woke up that morning, I was different. I can't even explain it. I was different. It was a brand new me. I started to hear the voice of God talk to me. I started to hear him say, fix myself up and don't go back. That was the first thing I heard when I woke up that morning. He said, fix yourself up and don't go back. And I never went back. And
wow,
everything that I knew then, I didn't know no more. Like the lifestyle and everything, it was over. I didn't wake up and with the pills and the cocaine on my mind. I didn't wake up I just felt peace. I felt joy. For the first time in my life, I didn't wake up with withdrawal. Like every time I would wake up from going to the club that night and being on all those pills and drugs, I woke up with withdrawal. I woke up and had to go and find me another, a pill, whatever you want to call it, some more drugs just to bring me through that day. I had to. And I didn't wake up like that at all. I just felt peace. I felt joy. I felt happy and kind of ashamed of what I had on. And then when I leave the hospital, leave the motel with that on.
Did you understand what was happening at the time? Did you know?
I did. I kind of felt like I never heard that voice before. I never felt like that before. And my granny always used to tell me, when the Holy Spirit come over you, you won't be the same. You won't feel the same. You won't walk the same. You won't talk the same. You won't be the same. You'll be a whole new different person. So I kind of felt like maybe this is God. This is nothing but God. And the day before, like the Bible series, I'm like, all of it played a part into what happened the next morning. It was just on the TV, and I didn't try to turn it or anything. I'm just watching it, and I'm watching Moses, and I'm watching David and Goliath. I'm watching all these people, and the next morning, I kind of felt it. I knew it was God.
So you knew that it was God. So did you get instruction that, okay, now I want you to do this instead? Or is it just do anything, but you're not going back there?
No, it was almost like I knew what not to do because I didn't want to. I didn't want to do none of the stuff that I was doing. So it wasn't like strict directions. When I felt the Holy Spirit just tell me, clean myself up, and don't go back. It was a soft, gentle voice. It wasn't like a voice like demanding me to do something. It was so soft and gentle, and I almost felt like a peace, like something that you I never felt before. It's supernatural. It's something out this world. Like it had to be from the Creator.
So you left the strip club that morning. You were tired of prostituting. Were you able to also quit the drugs cold turkey after?
Yes, I was. It was. I didn't want it no more. Like I didn't have the taste, like the feeling of the addiction feeling. Like I had to have it. I didn't have that no more. It was gone. When I woke up, everything was different. That was gone. The need of me wanting to just be with men, all of that was gone. I didn't feel it no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your life like now? What do? You describe yourself as a prophetess. So tell me about that role and sort of the way that you kind of connect with God and what that looks like now.
It's like me in a relationship with the Most High. It's me in a relationship with Him. It's me just spending time with Him. And you can't, I just let God, like, because I can't explain it more than me just letting God lead me and tell me what to do or how to live my life or whatever it is. It's just me and God, a relationship with Him. I'm at His feet. I'm here whenever He needs me, and half the time praying, praising, just being in His presence. Basically, I'm in the presence of God, and that's all I crave. That's all I'm addicted to now. That's all I need. I really need it to live. I need Him to live, you know. And it's a good place, like I was telling you before, being in darkness and now being in the light. And this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be. And then I just can't, express it enough. Like God is the way, the truth, and the life. That's all I can say. Yeah.
You know, you brought me to tears because I am a woman. I understand how financial limitations can sort of demand of you things that you may not even think about doing. I understand that there are going to be a lot of girls growing up after us who feel helpless and who will be tempted to take prostituting, sugar daddying, stripping, anything really that you're in a position where you feel like you're bowing and in some ways making yourself smaller to serve men or women who come to these places. What do you want the people who frequent strip clubs and frequent prostitute shops, what do you want them to know about the people who work there?
They are human. They are human beings too, because I think people seem to go to and look at strippers like they're not human. They are just there to play with or there to toy around with. Those are human beings. There are somebody that have feelings. They're someone's child, mother, daughter, or cousin, friend. They are human beings too. And men seem to want to just treat women at the club like they're just there for their pleasures and their pleasures only, and not even care. Because I thank God that I'm still here, because I done seen a lot of girls that's not even here no more, that have not made it out, because they done passed on. Someone done took them and just they're dead and they're gone, all because
afraid of that I'm gonna go to dinner with this man and I may not come back.
Right. And I didn't think that way, because I didn't care. I didn't even I couldn't even think that way. I couldn't even think half of the time. I just thought about making the money, taking care of myself, paying bills, and really just taking the medication to not be sick and just to make me not feel. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's why I'll glory to God, because even when I didn't think about it, he still had me, he kept me safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are human beings. I know people don't want it and don't want to realize it and just want them to be there for their pleasures. You might be meet a man at the club and he might be a serial killer, you know, and take you all out of town somewhere and dump your body. A lot of girls, like I said before, are not here. I know a lot of them, and because they got in the car with the wrong person, or they picked to do a table dance with the wrong person, and he persuaded them to, you know, and it's sad, and it's sad, you know, and it's hurtful. It's hurtful.
We live in a very sex-driven society where it's all about sex, and women are taught, put on the smallest thing on Instagram, turn around so I can see your ass, and that's what I want to see. Don't even show me your face, forget it. What do you think is driving that culture of just sex and nudity?
I think it was already put in place. It's put in place from like the new world, the thing that, because there's something happening right now in the world that's changing before our eyes. It's changing before our eyes, and right now it's getting darker and darker, because when I first started dancing, but when I first started doing it, it wasn't as deep as it is now for a woman to be half dressed or for a woman to be nude. Now it's almost like that's the way it has to be.
It's every day on Instagram I see free porn, basically.
Right. It's almost like that's the way it has to be.
Yeah.
And I just like the girls that's coming up, and that's what drives me the most to talk to these girls, because you are beautiful regardless. Like, you don't need no man to tell you to take off your clothes on Instagram. No, forget about Instagram models. Forget about all this thing that they're putting in your head. And when I see like the young girls, like the rappers, the young rappers these days, they're male rappers, and the young girls want to have a baby by them to, you know, to almost be, how can I say this? Because that's what's running the generation right now. They're running the generation right now. The young girls, that's baby mamas, that's on Instagram, that look the best, and they have the big boobs and the slim waist and a big butt. That's what's driving the world right now. That's what all the young girls are looking up to right now, for them to know they're beautiful. I'm beautiful. This was they're thinking. I'm beautiful if I go get my breast done. I'm beautiful. Yeah, I'm beautiful if I go get my butt done, or you know, or I go get. No, you're beautiful.
I'm strong-minded, but even me, sometimes I'm looking sideways in the mirror, like, can it grow? Like, it's so much pressure to look a certain way and to be this sex symbol that is being perpetuated in the media.
It's been pushed. It's an agenda, and it's been pushed so much to where you got girls and women or whoever committing suicide because they're not in this place, or they're not as beautiful as the next girl, and they don't even realize that that's not even her. You know, that's not even her. That's what she wants you to see after she done got some stuff done. And really, because I have daughters, and I tell my daughters, and it's very important for men and women to tell your daughters how beautiful they are growing up. Make sure you tell your daughters how beautiful. I didn't get that, so I went out looking for it. I look for it, and I look for it, and I look for it in this guy, and I look for it in this guy, and I look for it in this person, because I want to be beautiful. I needed to be beautiful. Tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me that you like being around me. Tell me that. You know, so I make sure I tell my girls, and my husband do too, like how beautiful, how they are very important, how they're just awesome, they're wonderful in all that they do. You know, they need that, because right now this world of women is hurting. They might not show it. They might go to Instagram, put on their best face, put on their best outfit, and take the picture of their you know, their butt, and they're hurting. Women is hurting right now because we don't have the male. We don't have, and I'm gonna just say it. We don't have enough male, you know, to push us and to make us think we're beautiful, because they're downgrading us too. You know, to a point. And just being honest, yeah, they put us down to a point to where we gotta appease to them, and then we're not even enough for them.
Nope.
So we need women to make us. We need to build ourselves. We need to build ourselves, and that's build yourself. You know, don't rely on a man to make you feel beautiful, to tell you that you're worth it. You're wonderful, because you are. And that's what we're looking for. And it's being pushed. The agenda is being pushed so hard, you know, of girls just selling their bodies, selling. And that's what you're doing. They really don't even understand. That's what they're doing. When you're getting on there and you're showing half of your body, you're selling it to someone. They might not be paying you cash, hard up cash to do it, but you're selling yourself. You get what I'm saying? You're selling yourself. But I just know that I look at it every day. Sometimes I just feel like it's sad, you know, and that's all I can say. Like, it's very sad. Yeah. And I just reach out to as many as I can reach out to, and tell them, like, you know, God loves you.
You hit them up and you say, you know what, God loves you.
Yeah, God loves you. And half the time, like the girls that I see in my neighborhood or I'm driving by, they listen. They love to listen, but at the same time, it's a stronghold. It's something that they still feel like they have to do, because that's the agenda right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chyna, you've been such a powerhouse of a woman, and such a profound storyteller. Thank you so much for adding light to this world. And I know there are girls who are going to watch this, who are going to need this message, because so many, like you said, the agenda is wrong. And it's all sex, and it's all sell yourself as quickly and as cheaply as you can. And we need women like you to say, there's another way. There's another way. So thank you for your love. Thank you for your light. And it's been a real blessing to speak to you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chyna, for your honesty and dedication to enlightening women. I urge you to share this video and continue this conversation in your friendship circle. You know, see where their mind is about this subject. Unfortunately, sex work is being glamorized, and more young girls are growing up believing that they should use their bodies to gain things. But again, I ask, is this healthy? Comment your thoughts below. Thank you for watching. Hi, thanks again for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you can see every time I post a new video.